Hey, I'm Sophia. If you love the thrill as much as I do, you're in the right place. From adrenaline-fueled rides to uncovering the world's most iconic machines, gear up and subscribe to Sophia on Wheels for non-stop automotive adventure. No, your eyes do not deceive you. I am here with a brand new 2026 Suzuki Carry. This is a very cool Kei Truck straight from Japan that you can buy brand new. And because this is another vehicle I really wanted to review, especially after covering so many unique trucks, you can tell this is going to be interesting by how tiny this thing is. Today, I'm going to take you for a full review of this brand new Suzuki Carry, a very cool Kei Truck from Japan. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about it. It's a very basic truck, but it is one of the coolest things that you will ever see. I promise you. You actually get quite a lot of stuff with your Suzuki Carry. So enough rambling, let's get into it. What exactly is a Kei Truck? It is a very good question. So in Japan, they have regulations called Kei car regulations. Essentially what they do is they limit the cars through gentleman's agreement of a certain size. So a Kei Truck has to be under 3.4 meters long, have a width no more than 1.48 meters wide, and be no more than 2 meters tall. But yes, it fits in all of that. It is very small indeed. It also can have no more than 64 horsepower and a 660cc engine. Yeah, a tiny engine in this thing as well. But the wheelbase is actually quite long for such a small vehicle. It's just over 2 meters. So yeah, this thing is weirdly extremely practical. And you can also get it with a bunch of different options for the bed. You can get it with a fridge, you can get it with a tipper, you can get a bunch of different things. So how much does one of these cost? Well, a brand new one like this one here. This is a KC. It's the entry level. But honestly, it doesn't really cost much more if you want to go for higher grades. This one's also got the farm pack, by the way, which deletes any of the autonomous driving stuff, which I know a lot of you will like. Well, that will set you back, again, brand new, $14,000 US. For a utility vehicle in Australia, that is extremely cheap. Now, is this a ute? Is it a truck? You can let me know down in the comments section below, but I think it's a bit of a ute, to be honest. But a low price means nothing if you can't actually see what this thing looks like, which is exactly where the exterior design comes in. Exterior design that turns heads. This is the key. This is how basic it is. That is just a single button Suzuki badge and then a single button to lock and unlock. How funny. So let's talk about the design really quickly. It very much looks like a truck. This thing has been on sale and it will be replaced at some point, but it will be replaced by something just as basic. I promise you that. The other big one is the Daihatsu Hijet, which you can also buy if you want to. So you get these halogen lights. They are not very bright, but they're okay. You have your Suzuki badge, a big fat grille. This thing doesn't need much cooling, to be honest. The engine is so small and the cooling, everything, you can actually see it under the front seats. If you want to get a good look at the engine, you can do so there. And of course, you have some hilariously large wiper blades, but you do get an incredible amount of viewage from inside there. Just so much glass everywhere. Let's check out the side now. If this doesn't give you an appreciation for just how small this thing is, I don't know what will. It is such a small little truck and I love it. You have these very scratchy plastic side mirrors, not unexpected. These are 12-inch steel wheels. They are absolutely hilarious. Relatively wide for such a small car, 145 millimeters wide. So really not that wide, but yeah, tiny. My favorite part about this from the side is one, you get a little footrest here in case you need to climb up, although you could honestly just step straight over. And then underneath here, you can actually see everything going on. If you want a good look at the mechanicals of your vehicle, you're not going to find a better vehicle than a Carry. You can literally see everything underneath here, from your engine to your transmission. It's a very small transmission, and your four-wheel drive system, and of course your leaf spring suspension. Because yeah, this thing is a proper work truck, even though it doesn't have the biggest payload. That rugged foundation is impressive, but it's worthless if you can't actually use the bed for what you need. Bed capacity that actually works. Now you might be wondering, what about the four-wheel drive system on this? Well, like I said, if you go for a manual, you get a rear locking differential and a low-range transfer case as standard. But if you go for the auto one here, they're about 50-50 in their popularity, you still get four-wheel drive, but it's a locked center differential. So you get 50% of power to the rear, 50% of power to the front. You can't drive it on concrete, but you could literally drive this thing off-road. So these are known for going literally anywhere, kind of like a Suzuki Jimny. I know it's weird, but I'll tell you more about the powertrains when we drive this thing. Let's check out the back. So coming to the rear, and yes, it looks like a truck. You have your Suzuki Carry badge here, and in Japan, you have regulations where you have to stipulate what the payload of any commercial vehicle is. So you can see here it's 350 kilograms for the Suzuki Carry. Sure, you could do a GVM upgrade if you were really keen, but I don't think it would. Now, like I said, you can drop the back really easily. You just got these levers here, and this thing is weirdly quite practical. 2 meters long by 1.4 meters wide. You can also take off a few bolts and access the rest of your engine and drivetrain if you want to. So it's actually quite easy to service and work on yourself if you wanted to. It even has window protection at the back in case you have bigger loads that don't need to smash the back window, I guess. Yeah, very cool. I love this thing a lot. Cargo capacity is one thing, but being able to actually sit inside comfortably is where this truck really shows its quirky character. Interior space. Let's check out the interior. Okay, inside the interior of the Suzuki Carry. Now, if you've spent any time in a Land Cruiser 70 series, this is going to feel very familiar to you. It is immensely basic, yet also one of the most practical interior spaces I have seen. Let's start with this plastic 2-spoke steering wheel. No, you can't adjust it in literally any way. It sits where it wants to sit. But honestly, it's perfectly placed so you can see your comically large print analog instrument cluster. Tiny little digital display down in the corner where you can change between, well, your trip computers and that's it. Extremely basic, and I love that about this thing. You know what else is basic? This single DIN radio setup here. It's quite literally just a radio, and it has the world's smallest and cheapest speaker inside of it. So yeah, this thing is actually weirdly extremely practical for what is such a small space. Now, like I said, you can get this thing as a space cab, so you get a bit of extra room in the back. That does add a bit of weight and makes this Kei truck a bit slower. So kind of think if you need that or not, because yeah, it does actually add about 15% of weight to the vehicle. So I don't know if you want to do that. Now, you're gonna have to love the color you choose, which is why I really like this denim blue, because yeah, you're gonna see it everywhere in the cabin. And like I said, there is zero sound deadening. I think I could hear more of the outside world than when I'm sitting here. So yeah, keep that in mind too. These seats, you might be thinking these seats look really, really thin. And you'd be completely right. As these are not comfortable vehicles, but just work, or either you should go for a limousine. Driving experience, that's pure fun. Okay, so driving the Suzuki Carry. Guys, this thing is a blast. And it might sound like I'm trying to floor it everywhere, but honestly, if you just need to pick up a bit of pace, you need to put your foot down. That might sound scary, but honestly, it's just a bunch of fun. And everyone respects the fact that you're in this tiny little truck and that you won't be able to go that fast. So handling is absolutely incredible. This is a really easy truck to live with. Super duper easy. It changes gears actually fast enough. It's only got 3 of them. And this thing feels punchy enough because it is a turbocharged petrol engine, even though it's only 660cc. The most fun thing about this though is the way it handles. Very little body roll. It's rear-wheel drive, unless of course you activate 4-wheel drive. It can't take much weight in the back, really. 350 kilograms is not a huge amount. Well, honestly, it's a really comfortable thing to drive around, even at higher speeds. The Suzuki Carry represents everything a simple work truck should be. Instead of compromising capability for luxury features, Suzuki built a genuine Kei truck with dimensions that actually work, configurability that serves real work needs, and efficiency that keeps operating costs low. Okay, so final thoughts on the Suzuki Carry. Should you go out and buy one? Absolutely you should. They're a really strange vehicle, absolutely, but they're so valuable to use for your business and you could save a ton on your pocket. Not for long distance driving, I'll give you that. But for everything else, they do the job so well, and you get something that is just absolutely epic. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you gonna go out and buy one of these? Do you already own one of these? And what do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And there is plenty more content coming up, so make sure you do subscribe to Sophia on Wheels. If you like this video, hit that like button.